Hello, my name is Kendra, and I'm coming to you guys asking for assistance to shed light on a case that is near and dear to my heart. Family is a word that brings light and love to many people. However, when I think about family, my memories are clouded by the remembrance of my uncle Glynn Simmons being falsely convicted of murder in 1975. To this day, he is still being held in prison despite the calls, letters, emails, and petition of activists, family members, friends, and even the victim's sister pleading for his release. Glynn Simmons, my uncle, was arrested and tried for first-degree murder due to a crime that was committed in Edmond liquor store case way back in 1975. He has been incarcerated since January of that year. He is an innocent man. This is not a baseless claim. In modern cases, we depend on scientific, factual, and verifiable evidence. Genetic DNA, fingerprints, security cameras, and the like are used to provide irrefutable proof of a person's guilt. None of this was used in my uncle's case. As an American citizen, we are innocent until proven guilty. Glynn Simmons was convicted based on the testimony of one witness's in court identification. And when I say in court, I say this because he was never identified as the suspect outside of court or in any lineup. However, recently recovered police report reveals the same witness had positively identified someone else prior to the trial. The witness's testimony should not have been relied on as the main evidence for the prosecution. It's been scientifically proven that an eyewitness testimony is the most unreliable source that someone can rely on, and multiple people have been exonerated because of these studies. Again, there were no fingerprints or DNA tying him to the case. There was no video evidence of his involvement in the crime. According to the witness and Simmons' own personal statement, he didn't, or even the state of Oklahoma, until 5 days after this crime had even been committed. There were many instances during cross-examination where witnesses that there were discrepancies in the witness's testimony. On the surface, it may seem as though this was a case of mistaken identification, but with a closer look at the police report, Belinda Brown knew and identified exactly who shot her, in which she stated and confirmed several times. The witness attended approximately 8 lineups before she made her identification. And when she did this, she did it so that she can make sure she identified someone positively and not someone that had not committed the crime. Belinda Brown, in court on cross-examination, testified that she was 18 years old and had planned to use a false ID card to purchase a bottle of tequila. She further testified that she attended approximately 8 lineups but did not identify any persons other than the defendants, which means she never identified Glynn Simmons as a suspect. Nevertheless, he was convicted in 1975 with no positive identification. My uncle's defense was one of alibi. At least 3 more reliable witnesses identified Simmons as being in Joe's Pool Hall in Harvey, Louisiana on the night in question. In addition, the victim's own sister promotes the innocence of Glynn and has begged for his release. What's even more surprising is that the former actual prosecutor in the case, Oklahoma County Assistant District Attorney for the case, Bob Millett, who has now realized he has since written many letters to the Pardon and Parole Board since 1994 in support of the exoneration of my uncle based on the evidence and testimony presented. The defense lawyer in his trial has since been disbarred. There's no evidence, there's no other way to describe what happened in this trial. This was an absolute travesty to justice. To this day, Glynn maintains his innocence. The other person convicted of the crime was released by the Pardon and Parole Board in 2008. This wrongful imprisonment cannot be righted.
That's the person she identified, right?
However, we must attempt to rectify the future. Can you please assist with this by ordering the immediate release of my uncle Glynn Simmons? I will provide the link below so that you can email the governor directly. Guys, if you can please assist, it will be of great help because we are always stronger in numbers. Thank you so much in advance. Peace.